Hello, this is Kate, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And I'm just going to draw 3 cards to give us an overview on the upcoming week and what we can expect. Now, I just did a blog post about different ways to store your tarot deck. So if you're wondering, how you should keep your cards when you're not using them, or if you just want some different ideas of how to store them, you can hop on over to my blog, dailytarotworld.com, and I'll post a link to that article in the About section of this video if you're interested. Okay, so I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot for this reading, and we'll start with the first card, which represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. Okay, so right off the bat, we have a really powerful card. We've got the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords will come up when we're feeling kind of stuck in life, and we feel like we're not really sure what the next step is. We feel almost kind of glued to the same place. Like we feel like there's not enough change in our lives, or maybe there is lots of change, but we feel like we're kind of stuck in the same patterns that we've been stuck in for a while, and we're not really sure where to take things or where to go. And this is an interesting card to get right at the beginning of the week, actually, and I have a feeling that the other 2 cards are going to be really positive. Just a guess, I don't know. So we'll see when we get to them. But it's an interesting way to start off the week. And the challenge with the 8 of Swords, the challenge with this card is finding ways to empower yourself when you're in a situation that makes you feel totally powerless. So looking for ways to free yourself from the patterns that keep you stuck. Now, this card is more about the internal processes that you're going through, not the external ones. So the message behind this card is not about someone keeping you stuck or someone doing something that you don't like. It's not about other people. This card is solely about you and what's going on within you to keep perpetuating the patterns that you're dealing with right now. And so the good news with that is that you have the power within you to change your perception and change how you look at things, change your behavior, and change your approach to things. It's just a matter of getting the motivation or getting the right energy to do that, because when you're stuck, sometimes you feel that sort of loss of energy, and sometimes you feel like you just can't get unstuck. You just don't have the energy. So that's the challenge with this card, is getting unstuck and kind of shifting your perception. And there's a few ways you can do this. So one way is choosing empowering thoughts. It doesn't mean you have to stop thinking negative thoughts, but just start thinking positive thoughts as well. So that's one way you can do this. And I'm going to actually move on to the other 2 cards because I'm really curious what those are. And I'll come back to this card. Okay, so we've got Justice. And Justice represents Wednesday and Thursday of the upcoming week. And this is interesting because in a lot of decks, Justice is actually blindfolded, but not in this one. This one, she's not wearing a blindfold. She's got her eyes wide open, unlike the lady here who's totally has her whole face blindfolded, really. And Justice, she's holding a set of scales, and they're unbalanced. So one's lower than the other, so they're off a little bit. And the message here is that you feel like something just isn't right now in your life. You have this feeling like something is a little bit off balance, a little bit off kilter. So this might show up for you as you feel like something isn't fair, or you feel like equality is something that's very important to you and you're not seeing a lot of it in your life right now. But this could also indicate just feeling like in general your life is kind of out of balance. Like maybe you're doing more work, and not enough play, or you have too much free time on your hands, and you're looking for a way to use that time. So there's all different ways you can be kind of out of balance. So the middle of the week is all about recognizing the places in your life that you are out of balance and looking for ways to bring balance to those things. And I feel like it ties into the Eight of Swords quite beautifully. And when I look at the Eight of Swords, I see 8 swords, and they're all, pointing down. They're stuck in the ground. But when we come to Justice, she's got one sword, and it's pointing upwards. So it's like a reversal of that mental energy. So while your thoughts are down, maybe at the beginning of the week, come middle of the week, things change, and it's almost like you become empowered, and you sort of grab that sword, and you open your eyes, you see what's going on, and you see that there are things that aren't quite right that you want to change. So I feel like there's a lot of energy this week with getting motivated to create changes, maybe being motivated to help others in regards to helping people seek justice, or helping people kind of get a fair deal, and contributing to making the world a more equal, kind of fair place. So moving on to the weekend, we've got Six of Wands. Now, Six of Wands always means success. This is a very this card looks kind of serious, but in actual fact, it's a very jubilant card of celebrating one's successes. So this card will only show up when you're, all these cards are slipping around on this silk scarf. This card will only show up if you're successful at something. So whatever challenges come up for you this week, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to work through those challenges and be successful. There's also a real air of celebration with this card. So celebrating some kind of victory of some sort. It could be celebrating, getting a job, or even celebrating something like an anniversary or a birthday. But I get the sense like it's more like celebrating an achievement or an accomplishment of some sort. Okay. So I'm just going to take a step back here and look at these cards together and see if anything else jumps out at me. I feel like this week is about working towards something really specific. And I feel like it's about working towards something that's very important to you, and something that's very heart-centered. Like it's very near and dear to your heart. And I say that because my attention is drawn to this sort of pin that Justice is wearing, this red circle right in her chest. My attention was immediately drawn there. And I feel like that's what this week is about, is working towards something specific. And I think for everyone, obviously, that something is going to be totally different. But I feel like finding your voice and seeing things clearly as they are going to be important themes of this week. And once again, I say that because I see the blue scarf that's wrapped around the throat of the Lady Justice. Blue, of course, that color symbolizes the throat chakra and speaking and communicating clearly. And of course, we have all the swords here, and again, a sword with justice, which again, the swords are about, mental energy and communication, saying what we mean and communicating clearly. So I feel like that's a big theme this week, is getting in touch with our voice and speaking clearly. So whether that is, saying what you think, talking about how you feel, or asking for what you want and being really direct with what you say to people. So don't waste any time beating around the bush this week. You might have to say things that other people might not like, or things that are kind of difficult to say. But the more direct and clear you can be this week, the better. And I mean, there's always a time when you should be, gentle and delicate and find the right way to say things. But this week, do yourself a favor and don't get too caught up in that, and just be really clear and direct with what you mean. Okay, another thing that's jumping out at me is that all the characters in this reading are wearing red. So we've got the Lady of the Eight of Swords is wearing a red dress, Justice is wearing a red dress as well, and this guy's wearing like a red, rusty kind of cloak. And now that I've said that, I'm not really sure what it means. I mean, I know red is a color of passion and energy. It can be a color of anger. I don't feel like that's what it means. I feel like it's a color of passion, actually, and working towards something that's very important to you. And of course, the Eight of Swords is showing up as what might be blocking you or what might be standing in the way. But it looks like you move through it with ease this week because we've got the Six of Wands at the end of the week, which signifies success. Yay! So please feel free if you have any, if you got any impressions from these cards, or if you have any different ideas of what they might mean, please feel free to share it in the comment section below. I love reading people's interpretations of cards. I really enjoy doing that, so feel free to do that. And once again, my name is Kate. I'm from dailytarotgirl.com, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.